How's it going, guys? Tony here. Today we are going to review, oh man, this one is so near and dear to my heart. This was my very first video game that was just mine, and it's the same cartridge from that glorious day. Sonic the Hedgehog 2! I absolutely love this game with all my heart, if not one of my all-time favorite games ever. So we're going to check it out, see if it's worthy to be on the Sega Genesis Mini. And again, we're going to talk about Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Why were you not included on the Sega Genesis Mini? Why? Why? Sigh. Anyway, guys, please subscribe to me if you haven't done so. And I'm giving away a Sega Genesis Mini into the month of September. All you have to do is subscribe. Let's take a good look at a childhood classic game of mine, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Thanks for watching. The immortal Sonic the Hedgehog 2! Guys, I love this game so much. There's so many childhood memories. I don't even know where to begin. I absolutely love this game. We're going to talk why I love this game, and this is an absolute must on any Sega Genesis compilation, Sega Genesis Mini, Sega Genesis whatever, Sega Genesis anything. So we're going to talk why it belongs on the Sega Genesis Mini today. I'm already cutting to the chase. It does belong on the Sega Genesis Mini. Let's talk why this game is so good and why I love it so much. Does Sonic the Hedgehog 2 belong on the Sega Genesis Mini? Duh! This is like one of those duh moments. This is one of the greatest Sonic the Hedgehog games ever. This was my first experience with Sonic the Hedgehog. And when I think Sega Genesis, if I were to list top 10 Sega Genesis games of all time, top 10 games to represent the Sega Genesis, this would be on the list. This sold Sega Genesis consoles. This sold the Sega Genesis to my parents. My parents bought this because I wanted this game so desperately. I was obsessed as a kid. I wanted more Sonic. I needed Sonic as a kid. Okay, let's talk why this game is a great one. What makes Sonic 2 such a legendary game, a good game, and such a memorable game? Well, we're going to talk why. Well, first and foremost, I love the characters. I love Sonic. I was obsessed with Sonic back in the day. I love the fact that he was blue, fast, and he had that tood. You're also going to like Tails. This is Tails' first inclusion in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. And if you have a buddy, you and a buddy can play together for the first time in a Sonic the Hedgehog game. Now, second player, is he really playing? Not really. Tails is actually invincible. He's only really useful in one part of the game. And also, Tails can fly. You're playing for you later on in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Speaking of which, in levels, there's a lot here. I really like the level design. I really enjoy each level. And there's just so much to explore and find out in this game. There's secrets. You're going to love that aspect of it. And here, I'm actually trying to get a Chaos Emerald in one of the special stages. And those are pretty fun, but at times they can become repetitive. and a little old, but I've been playing this game since 1992, guys. So yeah, this game is a little repetitive, but still so much fun. I also thoroughly enjoy the soundtrack. I listen to the soundtrack. It's in my rotation of various video game soundtracks, and sometimes when I'm playing it in my classroom, like various soundtracks, this is one of them that the kids actually request, the high schoolers. I also enjoy the boss fights in this one, and they're pretty fun. They're a little bit more unique than, say, Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And the big kicker with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that makes it better than Sonic 1 is the spin dash attack. I absolutely love the spin dash attack. And it's just so much fun going around the loops and just zipping around the levels. I absolutely love it. And you can play as Super Sonic if you collect all the Chaos Emeralds, or you put in the cheat code that I like to do so much, even to this day. So a lot of fun here, and we're going to talk about what's not so great about Sonic 2. And to be fair, I really don't have any complaints about it. But let's talk anyway. Now, I really don't have very many negative things, if anything at all, to say about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, it might be the nostalgia blinders, it might be this was my first Sega Genesis game, etc. But this is a near perfect Sonic game. This is a near perfect Sega Genesis game, 16-bit game, and I love it so much. It's right up there with Sonic CD and Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania is just so good, and right up there with this game as well. But I did want to spend this section of the interview kind of targeting Sega. Now, I understand it might have been a license issue, might have been some issues with the music or whatever. I don't care. This is a Sega Genesis Mini, and you want to put the best games on this collection, on this mini little plug and play set. And for the most part, they did an awesome job, and you know, they did a great job with like Contra, Castlevania, etc. But my big beef with the Sega Genesis Mini, they did not put Sonic and Knuckles or Sonic 3. Those games, it just, I'm not trying to get angry or upset here, but man, and I understand I can play them in other forms, I can emulate them, I own them physically, they're on other collection sets, I get it, but what's the holdup? Why can't we play Sonic 3? Why can't we play Sonic and Knuckles on the Sega Genesis Mini? Now, I also know that the Sega Genesis will probably be able to be modded, and if that is the case, I will probably put Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 on my Sega Genesis Mini. Just saying. Because they both belong on the Sega Genesis Mini. So, my question is, Sega, why couldn't you put them on there? I really want to know. I'm really curious at this point. And I understand, you can't do it now. You can't put it on there now. I understand it. The things are produced. They're going to be in stores soon. I get it. But I want an answer. I really do. I want an explanation. Because I'm not the only one. When I post these videos, and when I posted Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the review, most of the people are talking about, well, this is great and all. I'm really excited about the Mini. But there's no Sonic 3. There's no Sonic and Knuckles. So I'm not the only one. And really, Sega messed up here. Sega blew it here. Anyway, let's talk about my childhood memories with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Where do I begin with my childhood memories of Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Well, very simply, Christmas morning. My parents, they're the big jokesters. They like to play around Christmas morning, Christmas day. Even to this day, they like to pull little pranks on me. And lo and behold, one of the very first presents I open up is a Sega Genesis controller. And they're like, yeah, well, don't get your hopes up. We're not sure if we can get you a Sega Genesis. We're not sure if we can actually afford one. So this is maybe for next Christmas. So we'll see. We'll see. So lo and behold, just like in A Christmas Story, the very last present, Christmas morning, they pull out of some random corner in our house this big box, this last box. My name is on it. I open this sucker up, and it's a Sega Genesis Model 2 with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 packed in. And I'm going to tell you, for the rest of Christmas break, all I played was Sonic 2. I didn't even need to rent anything else. I'm sure I did, but man, I played the heck out of Sonic 2. I sat down and beat Sonic 2. It's one of the first games I can actually remember beating on my own without cheat codes or cheat devices. And again, there's just so much nostalgia here. I would come back to it time and time again. When Sega would release a new compilation disc or a new compilation set, I would play through Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Usually it'd be the first one I'd try to play through. And ton of fun with my friends. My buddy Eric, we would actually sit down and play this. He'd play Tails. We'd actually alternate and switch between Tails and Sonic. And again, this is like my childhood. This was my obsession. I couldn't get enough of Sonic. I thoroughly enjoyed Sonic over Mario any day, even though I loved Super Mario World. But still, I couldn't get enough of Sonic. And even to this day, I still hold a special spot in my heart for Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, Sonic has been struggling here as of late. Sonic Mania was excellent. That was like the revival that we needed. That's the Sonic that we needed. I really want a Sonic Mania 2, by the way. And I think we will get one because that game was super, super successful. And it was a blast playing through some of the Sonic 2 levels in there. I believe Chemical Zone was the level that they chose, and that's a good one as well. I love Emerald Hill Zone, but Chemical Zone, that's the one that I love the most with the music. And just going through those loops and actually like almost going faster than the screen itself. To me, that is blast processing. So yeah, you got to play this game if you've never played through Sonic 2. It's not a very hard game, but it's a very fun and enjoyable game. You'll enjoy the locales, you'll enjoy Sonic and Tails and Dr. Robotnik. I will never call him Eggman, by the way. The boss fights are phenomenal. Guys, you've got to play this game in one way or another. Just buy it on the physical, buy it on a different compilation disc, play it on the mini, whatever it takes. Well guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Hope you enjoyed this review. And if you like it, please share it. Please like this video. Also, what is your all-time favorite Sonic game? And does this game belong on the Sega Genesis Mini? Please subscribe to me. Guys, I'm giving away a Sega Genesis Mini, and that's all you had to do is subscribe to me, and you are included in my contest for a Sega Genesis Mini. Okay guys, well, enjoy the rest of this footage, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.